Oh. So today we watched two videos on basically like women's rights, kind of like and how women are viewed today. So like, who wants to start?
I'll start. So, in the second video that we watched, there was a African American lady that was talking about prostitution about with girls and how they sometimes they would the guys would only pay like $1 and how it was just devastating to her for girls to get treated like that. And I just think that's horrible that guys would do that to girls, and it even happens. It doesn't happen just in Africa. It happens in the United States too. So
It also, I think, shows a level of desperation. I mean, if you're willing to sell yourself for that low of a price, it means like you are pretty much willing to do anything for just a little amount of money, which kind of goes to show like how bad things really are for them.
Yeah, and like going along those lines, I thought it was really interesting and like it's sad that a girl wanted to have like she wanted to be so educated, and so she was able to get into college, and how that professor like pulled her out and was like saying, okay, you can have sex with me for the next 3 years. It's just to be like that's how you have to do this like the service to me now, just like so you can get your education. I thought that was really sad.
I was kind of impressed with that part too because I thought it was interesting how we've let men kind of get this, well, especially in that area, men get that kind of status where they can do that and basically go unpunished. Like there's no punishment or, like law or anything defending women and their rights because just like the society's kind of structured things that way. That he could do that and it was kind of okay. We look at it and it's disgusting and wrong, but obviously there wasn't a whole lot to defend her in that case. And she's not the only one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff probably happens a lot more often than we like to think. I think it's like crazy that I don't know in our country like girls are like looked at as powerful and amazing, and I mean in some situations like he was talking about Miley Cyrus, like she like dresses like she doesn't even have any clothes on and we think she's great, but in other countries, like it's sad that women feel like they literally have to turn into men to feel like they could get anywhere in life, and they just like it was awful how they felt like they had to sell themselves to get somewhere, and that girl who thought she'd made it had to like sell herself, and it's just crazy the stuff that happens in the world today, and how like when we think we're equal, we're still not. And now she talks about like it's not just in Africa, it's everywhere. Like somewhere in the Bronx, somebody's like selling themselves, or like all around the world, this is happening. And I think I'm just grateful for like that I have the gospel and that I like know I'm a daughter of God, and I'm not gonna do that to myself. And not that they're bad people, but they have to feel like they have to do that.
Right. I think what was interesting. I lost my train of thought. I don't know when you say that here in America women are looked at as great. It hasn't always been that way though.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the struggles and kind of the advocacy that's had to take place in order for women to get to the point where they are in the United States, and I think that's really what the lady in the second video was talking about, was that women here in America have been given that opportunity and have been given like that support, and I think that's kind of what she was like looking for in that situation. She wants to give those women that space, because even if women have the desire and want to, if they're not given any opportunity to kind of exercise that right or to go past certain points and push limits, then no matter what the desire is, it really doesn't matter. Here in America, like we've given women the opportunity, right? We started with things like voting. Women could vote, and then they started having a say in who gets elected, and then that has it starts somewhere. It's like a snowball, but if you never let it even get to a point where it can start, even if we didn't here in America, it wouldn't be the same. And so I think that's what she was looking for, was kind of space for movement to get things even going. And I think that's what's really important, is that in these kind of developing countries, is that we look for an opportunity to kind of push those limits and give those women a chance.
She was also putting a light that sometimes we take it for granted, that we don't necessarily have to do these things, unlike the girls in Africa who feel like they have to. And just be grateful that we, as women, can empower ourselves. We don't feel the need to be like Miley Cyrus running around naked and consider like that's who we are. That's our greatest worth. That we can be better than that.
I found it interesting how, like in the first video too, I can't remember her name, but how she at 35 then made her decision to become like a sworn virgin, become a man. How it took her that long, but I don't know, and how there's like once you're supposed to go like make that decision, you're not supposed to ever go back. I don't know, I feel like if that was me, I think you'd have like, I don't know, I'd regret it. I almost feel like, but I don't know, that was really interesting. She took that long just to make her decision.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes along with what she was saying. Like, it got to the point where I think she feel like the benefits outweighed the cost.
Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she felt like she was not experiencing everything that she could, and so then she made the decision. I don't know.
Well, I think like you said, they have to like weigh like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna miss being a girl, but in a way I'm not, because like she couldn't even drive herself places. I mean, women are bad drivers, but they're not that bad. So I don't know. And I just think it was crazy how she was like, or like how the one girl, she felt like it was socially acceptable because she grew up in a family of like girls. So she said she felt like she had the switch because like she didn't feel like she like belonged. And I mean, I don't feel like I'm as girly as other people, but I don't necessarily like want to go all the way. That's just it's crazy to me. So we did.
Yep. The end.
Ta-da!